Welcome to this deep dive. We're focusing today on the PortalFuse Weekly Security Report from May 20th, 2025, and also digging into some key Microsoft updates and a known issue that's now resolved.
Right. The idea is to cut through the noise for experienced Intune admins.
Exactly. We've looked at the PortalFuse report, MSRC posts, Microsoft support doc.
Yeah, just pulling out what you really need to act on. No fluff.
Our mission, get you the critical security info, explain that BitLocker fix efficiently.
Let's get straight to it.
Okay, first up, CVE 2025-32709, elevation of privilege in the WinSock ancillary function driver. Can you break that down?
Sure. So this is a use actor-free vulnerability. Basically, the driver tries to use memory after it's already been released.
Okay.
An attacker, someone with low privileges already on the box, could exploit this to gain administrator rights.
Yeah.
Kernel-level stuff. So pretty impactful and successful.
Right. Local admin is always a major concern. It's rated important, CVSS 7.8. What about exploitation? Does it need user interaction?
No, that's a key point. No user interaction needed. Makes it riskier. Potentially usable in automated attacks.
Definitely raises the stakes. Which systems specifically? Is it widespread?
It's quite specific, actually. All supported editions of Windows Server 2008 and Windows Server 2008 R2.
Ah, the older server OSs.
Exactly. Since that driver handles low-level network stuff, a flaw there is significant for those still running these systems.
So for anyone still managing Server 2008 or R2, what's the immediate action?
Right, you need to install specific out-of-band updates, OOB updates. And importantly, these are needed even if you've already installed previous updates or the latest monthly roll-ups. These are separate target fixes.
Got it. Essential even if patched recently. Let's get those KB numbers out there. What are they?
Okay, for Windows Server 2008 R2, you need either KB506-1195, that's the security only, or KB506-1196, the monthly roll-up version.
Right, 195 or 196 for R2.
And for Windows Server 2008, it's KB506-1197 for security only, or KB506-1198 for the monthly roll-up.
197 or 198 for 2008, and these dropped when?
May 15th, 2025.
Okay, good to know. Let's switch gears to the client side. Microsoft Edge, Chromium-based vulnerabilities. First, CVE 2025-4664, insufficient policy enforcement in loader.
Yes, this one's rated critical. It's a flaw in how the Chromium loader part of the browser handles security policies when loading resources.
And the impact.
Potential for unauthorized actions within the browser's context. Given how central the browser is, that's obviously not good.
Critical severity, and I saw a note about exploitation.
That's right. Google is aware that an exploit for this CVE exists in the wild.
Oof. Okay, so people are actively using this.
Potentially, yes. Which makes patching extremely urgent.
And the fix is an Edge update, naturally.
Correct. You need to update Microsoft Edge to version 136.0.324.76. That version came out May 15th as well.
Okay, 136.0.324.0.76. That same update seems to cover the next one, too. CVE 2025-4609.
It does, yes. This one is also Chromium-derived, involves the Mojo framework. Yeah, it's for inter-process communication within the browser. The issue is described as an incorrect handle provided in unspecified circumstances.
Sounds a bit vague. Unspecified circumstances? What's the risk?
The potential risk is arbitrary code execution. Basically running code as the current user.
Right, arbitrary code exec, even if the trigger isn't fully detailed, always needs immediate attention.
Absolutely. So again, the fix is updating Edge to version 136.0.3240.76. Knocks out both of these critical issues.
Good. One update, two critical fixes. Now let's talk about that known issue, the Windows 10 BitLocker Recovery Screen Loop. Thankfully resolved now, but what was going on?
Yeah, this one sounds like it was quite disruptive. Devices getting stuck, just showing the BitLocker recovery screen over and over at startup.
Nasty loop. What were the specific conditions that triggered it? It wasn't happening to everyone, right?
Definitely not. It was very specific. You needed Windows 10, obviously, and hardware with Intel Trusted Execution Technology, TXT enabled.
Okay, TXT enabled.
And specifically on 10th generation or later Intel vPro processors.
Wow, quite a narrow set of requirements.
It is. And the final piece was installing the May 13th, 2025 Windows Security Update, KB505-8379.
So Win 10 plus TXT plus 10th Gen plus vPro plus KB505-8379 equals potential BitLocker loop.
That's the combination.
Yeah.
What happened under the hood was that LSASS.exe, the local security authority subsystem service, could crash unexpectedly after that update on those systems.
LSASS crashing is never good.
Exactly. That crash triggers automatic repair, and if BitLocker's on, boom, you hit the recovery screen. The loop happened if automatic repair couldn't fix the underlying LSASS issue.
Were there specific signs, maybe event logs, that admins could look for to confirm this was the issue?
Yes, definitely. Some reported seeing KB5058379 fail to install multiple times and maybe rolling back successfully via startup repair.
Okay.
Others got stuck in the reboot loop where startup repair just couldn't fix it, always returning to BitLocker Recovery. In the system event log, you might find event ID 20 showing KB5058379 failed with error 0x800 F0845. And also event ID 10074, logging that LSASS.exe terminated unexpectedly, often with status code -10737407191.
Okay, helpful indicators. Let's just reiterate the affected platforms very clearly.
Sure. This was only Windows 10, specifically version 22H2, and Windows 10 Enterprise LTSC 2021.
Not Windows 11, not server.
Correct. Not Windows 11, not any server versions, and only on systems meeting those exact Intel TXT and vPro processor criteria. So consumer devices were generally not affected.
Good clarification. And the status now is resolved.
Yes, resolved. Microsoft released an out-of-band update, KD5061768.
Another OOB. And where do people get this one? Windows Update.
No, this one is only available via the Microsoft Update catalog. You have to go grab it manually or import it into WSUS Config.jar, etc.
Okay, manual download from the catalog. What's the guidance then? Say, for someone who hasn't deployed the problematic May update yet.
If you haven't deployed KB5058379 yet, or if it failed on these specific machines, just skip it. Go straight to the catalog and apply KB5061768 instead.
Simple enough. But what about devices already stuck in that loop?
Right, for those already affected and unable to boot properly, there's a multi-step process.
Okay.
First, you need the BitLocker Recovery Key. Absolutely essential.
Got it. Key first.
Then you need to boot into the BIOS or UEFI settings and temporarily disable two things. Intel VT for Direct I/O, sometimes called VTD or VTD, and Intel Trusted Execution Technology, TXT.
Disable VTD and TXT in BIOS requires the key to boot after, potentially.
Likely yes, especially after changing those settings. Once disabled, you should be able to boot Windows. Then go to the Microsoft Update catalog, download and install KB5061768.
Install the fix.
Let it restart.
Right.
Then go back into the BIOS UEFI and re-enable Intel VTD, VD, and TXT. You'll probably need that BitLocker Recovery Key again when you boot up after re-enabling them.
Okay. A bit involved, but a clear path. And the crucial point about recovery keys.
Yes, worth repeating. Microsoft support cannot get your lost BitLocker keys back. They can't provide them, can't recreate them. You must have your key management sorted out.
Absolutely critical. Okay, let's quickly summarize the main action items from today's discussion.
Sounds good. First, for those Windows Server 2008 and 2008 R2 systems, deploy the OOB updates. That's KB3061196 or 196 for R2, and KB5061197 or 198 for Server 2008, addresses CVE 2025-32709.
Right. Tackle that elevation of privilege vulnerability. Then, for Edge users,
update Microsoft Edge to version 136.0.3240.76. This gets you protected against both critical Chromium flaws, CVE 2025-4664 and CVE 2025-4609. Especially important since one is reportedly exploited.
Okay, update Edge, and finally, the BitLocker issue resolution.
If you manage Windows 10 22H2 or LTSC 2021 on those specific Intel vPro TXT-enabled machines, get KB5061768 from the Microsoft Update catalog. To wrap up, maybe a final thought for our listeners. Considering these patches, the OB nature of some, the hardware-specific issue, well, it really highlights the increasing complexity, doesn't it? You've got OS vulnerabilities, browser vulnerabilities stemming from underlying projects like Chromium, and then these very specific interactions between hardware features like TXT, firmware, and OS updates.
The interconnectedness is definitely growing.
Exactly. It just underscores the need for really precise, sometimes rapid patching strategies. And also, maybe, how crucial robust testing becomes in diverse enterprise environments before broad rollouts, especially when hardware dependencies like this pop up. Something to keep chewing